I think we're good. I say that every single time, despite not being ready. And I just have to check a few more things. I'm like, yeah, we're good. We're obviously good. But no. I still have things I have to check. I have to make sure that Twitch is running properly. I have to make sure that YouTube is running properly. I need to make sure I have all chat windows open. Which is funny because I don't really get chats these days, but I still look out for them. I gotta. Rather than I gotta, it's I want to. Anyways, hello, Science Gator back for another stream, and today I am going to pull my hair out. What the hell's going on? What's the context for this? There is none. You'll see in a second, and then you'll regret clicking on the stream. This is the context. It's a lot of fuckery. Now I'll explain what's going on. This is Played Up. It's a game where you make dishes and you can serve people in the restaurant. I have the fun decision of one of these two options. And I should probably, you know what, before I even start on this, I'm gonna choose left. I should probably explain the context of what this game is. I'll do a sample run. And then we'll go suddenly advanced. Apple my pie, don't know what the fuck you are. I don't remember some of these, so I'm just gonna... I could probably just get away with doing a quick run, yeah. I have something like this. Abandon, yeah. What's nice is the game after some time, this was released in 2022. The game after some time allowed you to make save states instead of using the same place over and over again. You had to it used to be that you had to mod the game to be able to utilize a save state, which is a pain in the ass, but it is doable. So they made it official where you could save different levels the way you wanted to, which I really liked. You have the option to choose various layouts. I'm going to go for the city. You can choose maps down here, which will show you like a general grid of what you're going to expect. We'll do one that's very simple because I don't plan on doing too much with it. There's different meal options, and actually there's some layouts over here. I'm going to stick with this one. It's small. It's not going to get us too far, but it's good for demonstrating the game. I'm going to go with tacos because I haven't done tacos before. So I'm curious. We have a tortilla, and we have... I don't even know what that is. Meat. Do we put this on after? What do I do with this? Oh. What's this? Oh! Okay. Do I just take one at a time? They need so many tacos. Can I just... Hold on. Can I just give them this whole thing? Yeah, I can. Nice. Why do they want so many tacos? Okay, that's not too bad. It's confusing, but it's doable. Because you just go to the table and you place down those. You can take the leftovers for later use. I think we can get through that. Plus, it does not require plates, which I think is the best portion of it all. Anyways, the level is pretty straightforward. I could probably get away with that as an example, but I'll show a level in here anyways. It also has Twitch integration, which I'm going to skip because I don't think I'm going to be doing too much. I have a couple of mods which I use for the game. As you can see, I'm walking through things I should not be, and that is due to a ghost mod. There used to be one that I used to use, but it's outdated. I don't remember what it's called. So I'm not even going to pretend to assume what it is. There's the freezer. Right. We'll do probably a couple of rounds, couple of runs, just because we can. It's going to be a terrible idea to put this like right next to each other, but I'm going to do it anyways. I probably can get away with just one. Yeah, we're gonna get away with just one pop. We don't need too many. Just gonna cook our food. We're gonna keep it there. We're gonna keep the tortillas ready. Actually, can I hold on? Okay. Oh, if that's a slight flaw to the design, that's okay. Okay. They want one more, which I can give them one more. There we go. And now we have 3 left over. Cook another backup. And no plates, which I really love. Usually with dishes you have to put plates on, but this game is very generous in that you don't have to. But you do have to deal with the trays, which can be a little bit. You can also call orders in advance, so they arrive early, but there's a consequence to doing that, which is people are waiting outside now. You can't make them wait too long, otherwise your restaurant closes down. Okay, so you always have to do tortilla before meats. Understood. I feel like in the space state, it's actually very easy to automate. Because as you progress further and further, you have options to automate. Which I think that's good enough for now. I might come back to this later, probably on a different layout. Anyways, that's the dish of the game. You'll get more customers over time. After every 3 levels, you'll get conditions in which you have to choose a card over another, which you kind of saw whenever I went to this level. Aptly named Hi There, which is an establishment of another level I did. I played this game a long while back on stream, and I used a modded version. I had 2 more mods. One is just a general mod loader, I believe. And the third one allows us to use whatever recipe we want for generating the layout. That's why it's like very large. You usually don't see these kinds of layouts. So we're on overtime day 31. We've lasted for 45 days successfully. So since we're on a multiple of 3, we have to choose these 2. And I have a dilemma. I have to choose either tomato soup, or I can allow customers to eat more than once. And based on the wording, customers can order courses twice, meaning that any course can be eaten twice. There's 3 different courses that are possible in the game. You have an appetizer course, you have the main entree, and then you have dessert. In this, we have the soups as the standard procedure for the foods. So that's our entree, or our appetizers, along with, I like to call them bird seeds, but just like standard seeds you can eat as well. I have pie selected, and then desserts include a cheese board, which has an apple, cheese, and some nuts, and some pies. I have potato. I have pumpkin and apple pie. Entrees can also have a side, but I purposely negated that using metal tables. So when choosing between these 2, I try to think, which one do I want to do? And I did this either this was yesterday actually. Yesterday I got this option, I'm like, oh, I am fucked, because whichever one I choose is going to be a pain in the ass to do. Either I have to let customers sit for longer, or I have to rearrange my whole setup to be able to include an automated sink and pot setup. Which means I have to figure out how to do that. So I, of course, am going to be the masochist and go with the tomato soup setup. I do not want to return to headquarters. Okay, tomato soup. I don't usually read this, but since I'm on stream, I will behave today. We got onion and water to pot and boil to make broth. That's standard for all soups. We have to add a tomato and tomato sauce, then cook it again. What that means is we have to add the tomato, and we also have to mix tomatoes all the way to make it a paste. We add both of those to the soup tin, and then that will cook the soup. I purposely changed the... I'm going to change graphics real quick. I changed the graphics to make it a lot easier to see things. Yeah, now it's a little bit blurry. Things are still running a little bit slow. Oh my. Maybe I can... Oh well. Bongo Cat, you're off for today. What? Okay, well anyways, this is gonna be slow. Oh well, there goes the quantity or the quality. Anyways, here's the tomatoes. Thankfully I have tools to design to be able to utilize these tomatoes however I want. I have some mixers somewhere. I think this is a mixer. Yes. I have a conveyor mixer. That's what I want specifically because that's what's going to be used for automation. Let me explain some things because it's going to be very difficult to navigate this without actually explaining it. Here's the pies. I have 3 pies. I have a meat pie, a mushroom pie, and a vegetable pie. Vegetables consist of 2 different ingredients other than the dough. So I have this carrot and broccoli, which are navigated onto these combiners. Combiners are used to push items onto another item once it gets there. So I start with some flour, I push onto this mixture to get a dough and then a pie crust, push the pie crust onto the safety hob. Hobs are one of the ways you can cook foods. Automation usually want to use hobs, which you can use a safety hob or a danger hob. We use a green safety hob. Danger hobs are safe to use for things like soups since they do not burn under any circumstance. Safety hobs never burn anything, so that's the cool thing, they just cook very slowly. Anyways, so we have this safety hob. Once that's there, the pie crust starts cooking, and then we have the carrot and the broccoli go through. Once that's cooked, we then teleport it to, it's kind of hard to see with the expected group sign there. This first teleporter then comes right here. So we transport the food using the teleporter, and then it goes onto this assigned vegetable frozen prep station. It can hold 4 items on it at once, but it can only hold a unique item on it. So we've done the same thing for mushroom. Notice how we can use a same item for multiple purposes. So this will distribute flour for both of these pies. Mix it. We just take the mushrooms, put it onto this. I know this is hard to see, but it's a combiner. Put it onto this safety hob, let it cook, and then go through there. You'll see some things are just not meant to be there. That's just, I don't have the space to put things down freely, so it's a bit of a hell to manage these all. It's hard, but it's doable. That's why I have I consider myself a hoarder in this game because there's a lot I want to prepare for. I want to be able to use plates so I can automate the dishes onto here. That's the ultimate goal. Right now I just have the I need to figure out tomatoes here in a bit, but we have the full lineup of the starters and then the apple pie. So we've got that figured out. Meat hasn't been teleported, but it's right here anyways. We just feed it onto this conveyor mixer, and the reason why we need a conveyor mixer, if we didn't, we would need to use a conveyor belt to move the item from the mixer onto the plate, which would take more space. So this is more compact. And then we take it from a meat freezer to make a meat pie. So these 3 are set up there. Bird seeds, or just pumpkin seeds, are what they are. And there's a reason why I do it this way. We take the pumpkins right here. We extract the seeds using this portioner, and we feed those seeds onto the safety hob. Again, seeds can burn, so safety hob prevents that. We take the husk of that pumpkin and we throw it away. This is a combustible bin, so that after some time, the pumpkin should be depleted on its own, and we don't have to handle taking out the trash. Usually with trash bins, you have to throw things away by carrying it and taking it outside to the trash can, which is right here. See why I got the ghost mod? This is going to be a lot of work and I have to walk through all of this. So why do we have a separate thing for pumpkin pie, which requires a husked out pumpkin? Well, first of all, pumpkin pies will take a seed out of the pumpkin and then we'll throw away that seed. And then we'll feed the pumpkin onto the combiner, which then once we have the dough ready, we'll feed onto this safety hob and then it'll combine the 2 together. Once we have a pumpkin pie, it will only adjust for a pumpkin pie. We have a smart conveyor, meaning that it only read one item possible. The reason why we do that is if we don't get sales on pumpkin seeds, this is what I did originally. I combined the 2 into 1 machine because I only had 1 pumpkin. So that way I could try to be more resourceful with space and different items. However, Doing this causes the system to back up if one of the two items is not sold. We're always guaranteed that each table will have a starting item and appetizer. Not everyone will have a starting item or appetizer, but they will always have at least one. But desserts are never guaranteed. Desserts are optional. Sometimes you'll get them, sometimes you will not. So we have to account for that, and we have to separate these two into separate entities, which is sad because it's very wasteful, but what else are you gonna do? Anyways, this gets teleported. This is the fun part. 5 goes here. So as long as it's between the table, either table takes it, then I can allow it to register for either table. It's pretty cool. Same thing happens with the pumpkin seeds and the soups. I have one teleporter going here. That's teleport number 3 for the meat soup, 6 for the carrot soup, 3 and 6. Apple pies do that for number 7, and so forth. So, right now, let's say we do this normally. I'm not going to test with the tomatoes. To make soup, usually, let me turn down the volume a little bit. But to make the soups, you have to fill the pots with an onion and water, which you can do, which I have a sink here to do that with. And then as it cooks, it will distribute portions evenly to each side. So usually you just let that fill up, and it goes boop. So this raises a few questions. If we were to add a tomato soup, first of all, where are we going to fit it? And second of all, how are we going to be able to access it without much trouble, if we can? What I mean by that is I have this cleverly designed so that way I can move these pots to a sink right next to it and put it back on for quick convenience. This is a 2-soup operation. If I were to add a third, I would have to put it on either side of these counters. That means we lose the convenience of the 2-soup operation. There's a couple of ways we can deal with that. Move the sink to like maybe right here. The issue with this is the automated sink setup, which I'll explain here momentarily. And then even if I move this here, I still have to move the carrots somewhere over. I have to move my research stations over, which I'll also explain. It's gonna be a bit of a setup. All right, so there goes option 1. Option 2. I can automate the pots being filled and then move them to their respective counters. Do I have to move them manually? Most likely for now, but that is still an option. And that's what the option is that I'm leaning towards right now. Which is cool and all, but now the question becomes, how the heck am I going to make space? It probably means I'm going to have to move everything around again. Because it's kind of hard to really show you everything. Matter of fact, it might be... I love that they added this. I love it so much because it's hard to navigate sometimes. Moving everything out of the way. I'm gonna buy this because I need it. If I cut off a path in here, my game's gonna like freeze up. So I need to be careful not to do that. Alright. If I move everything out of the way, I'm just only going to do the small chunk because I have a lot to move out of the way. So up to here is being used. And then I can still do this, actually. I'm going to use one of these frozen prep stations because it's good to have backups to get us started. Gives us time to fill up. Yes. I can move these around. I need this research desk because I want to still change a few things here and there. But essentially, this is what I am left with. This quiver is spaced back here, which is possible to use. I could use a teleporter again to get the tomato soup out. And that's probably what I'm going to have to do because I don't really have the space to really maneuver. I'm going to have to move this plant over here, for example, which removes the plant here. So I have to do it here instead. Thankfully, this is still a viable setup, so I'm going to take it. I'm going to put this back in. I'm just going to put that on the outside. It's already very hectic. Alright, let's explain a couple more things like I said I would. First of all, you mentioned the sink setup. So I've automated the sinks so that whenever they have dirty plates, it will automatically be carried from these two tables and put into these sinks. These soaking sinks automatically clean plates. It's a bit slower, but it does not require your input whatsoever. And then it will feed the plates back into the stack, which then I can use again. That's the current setup. In the future, I'll have a dedicated section to handle the plates. I'm hoping. We'll have to see how that goes. But for now, that's just how it's going to be. And then these boards also are used for the cheese boards, which then can also be fed onto this line. I have to be careful when using these because I have to catch them. That's why I can't put the sink here like I wanted to earlier. I have to catch them from either corner. And if I block this one, the board is here, it's stuck. I can't move it. You can move the direction of these conveyors in-game, but there's still no way to reach this whenever I have the onions and the pots in front of these. So that's not an option either, unfortunately. So as you can see, lots of shit to move around, lots of shit to try to set up. I have room for it, it's just going to be a pain. Though, I might be able to somehow make a gap within these and try to avoid the space taken up by the apple pies to generate a central system to fill the pots with and then assign them back to their respective hoppers. I don't know if that's going to be the viable strat or not, but that is something I'm thinking of for right now. Because I need to be able to access... Well, actually, you know what? It's not going to be a problem if I can't access the tomato soup, which is going to be back here. All I have to do is just remove the teleporter and allow myself to feed the pots or something. So I'll just take a round where I just feed them, I don't know, carrot soup by hand. That's not too much of an issue. One more thing to explain. This setup is for the researching, and that's how we get all these fantastic items. Right now I have a teleporter I can unlock, which I'm going to. That one only costs 1 coin. Normally they're 1,500, but you can reduce their cost. Right now it's at 157. So about 90% off, just about. So I have this 8th set, which acts as a pair. I wanted to get 2 of them so I can make a pair per round. I was waiting for 1 pair every 2 rounds, which is pretty slow. So I decided against that. So we'll figure out where that goes soon. The hope is to put it right there if I can, or maybe even right here. But whether or not we'll be able to, only time will tell. But right there for right now. So that is the current conundrum, and that is the structure of today's stream. Is it going to be a fun stream? Is it going to be a painful stream? Don't know. And that's why I put the title as is. Still, it's going to be a lot of problem solving. Critical thinking. That shit I love. Because I'm a masochist. Put this out here for now. Whenever I start the level, I can't throw away things. And of course, I had to choose a level where everything's sprawled out, so it's a bit hard. I forgot what the sink automation looks like. And this time I actually do need to use the internet. Plate up sink automation. Because I know you have to use a combiner at the sink to fill the water up. That's how I'm going to try to use this, or to do this. Soup automation, not sink. Soup automation. Okay. So you can do this in a 2x2 area in which you have, okay, it's a combiner, which we do have an extra combiner somewhere, I believe. I hope. We'll change our answer to I hope. Because if we don't have that, we're kind of screwed. We should have an extra research. What is this? That is a rotator. Or that is, yeah, those are two. Okay, those aren't bad. That's a bin, that's a TP, that's a safety hub, which I will use a safety hub. I need an extra safety hub, so that's good. Swore I had another combiner somewhere. This is a portioner, which I will gladly use for the tomato soup. I am not actually too worried. I'll just use this one instead until I see that there's another one somewhere, which there probably isn't, but I have missed them before. Okay, we're just going to use this one because I have no other option right now. I'm going to move the sink. I need to make this transportable. Do I need to make it transportable? Move these carrots and the converter. What I should probably do, first of all, before I even start any of this, this is something I usually do. I'm going to take a screenshot of my full screen using the sniping tool. And I have it on the side as a reference in case something goes wrong. Because believe me, something is going to go wrong. Alright. So we have these decorations. I'm going to try to find somewhere to put out here so I have minimal and disruptions. What is this? Oh, there's the combiner. It's right there. I just need to copy it. So I'm actually going to move this in favor of the combiner because I don't need another combustible bin right now. Like, they're nice, but not necessary. Okay. So looking at the reference on my browser, you can use a 2x2 area. We have these. Where are they at? Do I not have backups? I should somewhere. I might not actually. Okay. We need these twisty corner grabbers. So I'm going to quickly put this nuts back on. I actually don't even need those anymore. The combiner right here. If I remember to, I'll explain what I mean by that later. Okay. Stay in focus now. I need to find these rotators, which I just found. I'm going to replace, I'm going to put this portioner back here for now. I'm going to replace the seed here. I'm just going to put myself right there for right now. Run practice mode a shit ton. Just as a quick note. Because I'll be able to manipulate the things on screen through that. Okay. So now we can put this back. Boom. Funny thing that I can replace an automation with a smart grabber instead of a corner grabber. I'm going to do so. It's right here. I'm going to temporarily run this again. And boom. Now we put raw flour into that. We have two of our corner grabbers right now that we need. This is an optional one, so I'll put it over here for now. Beautiful. So when automating this, I have a couple of approaches for doing this. I'm more than likely going to rely on moving this back here. I'm going to use my third smart grabber. I'm going to feed the carrots in directly through here. So I have this as well for the tomatoes. And now that would be fed whenever the... Okay, I need to remember to put on the soup. Okay, that's not an issue. We're good. We're good. Trying to think this out so that I have no issue with this. I'm going to move the pots back here. I think that's going to be smart to do. And the onions, we only need to use the onions once. We actually don't need to do this. As long as we do it at the beginning, that's enough time. We do have another danger hob as well, which I'll prepare for the tomatoes. Okay. I'm going to try to stick a hob right there. The question of can I do it or not? The answer seems to be no, because we require two separate ingredients. Even though they're both tomatoes, we need the tomatoes to be complete as well as cream. So one in a whole, in a physical form, one in a liquid and solid form, whatever the terms are. I might have to move this back to right there. That means we have an access point from somewhere over here, and going this way, which may have to feed somewhere else. So I might not be able to do this the way I want it. So, what is the alternative to that? Do I put the soup back here? I can. Honestly, it's not too rough of an option for right now. 39 groups is intimidating, but as long as we can automate everything, it's not too bad. So I'm going to go ahead and do a preemptive strike. Where is our 8th teleporter? There's one right there. And this is what I'm going to aim for. We have the 8th teleporter right there. I want one of these frozen prep stations to be used. And then we're going to feed the resulting food into the teleporter. So that's going to handle the soup. I need a portion from the soup onto the platform. So to do that, I'm going to use a portioner. I saw one earlier and I lost it. I think I brought it outside. We'll also go back to being dinosaurs. Excavators. There we go. Yeah, it is around here somewhere. I just have to look for it for a quick second. Plates, sink, plates, cabinets. Oh, okay. It just blended in so well. All right. We will have a portion right there. I'm going to feed another line this way, which I'll go ahead and just take care of real quick. I'm going to be safe, do one at a time, because I know I'm going to forget something. Then, how do I want to do this? If I put the danger hob right there, I can convene this here. We'll practice mode again. Okay. That allows us to take the tomatoes and use them as we need to. However, this gives some limitation to the approach, because now we have this open space here, which I don't like. If I put the tomatoes there, let's say we put the tomatoes right here. We can feed another corner. Do I even have enough resources to do this yet? Oh no. I think the answer is no. I have this smart grabber. which I'm going to go ahead and quickly make free. So now we have that replaced. We have another smart grabber, or another corner grabber, which will act as this tomato grabber. Okay, got it. So it's going to be an awkward reach. But ooh, hold on, I need to test something with this. The goal, because I need to also have a mixer, which I put somewhere. I'm already getting lost. I need to have a conveyor mixer. Okay, it's over here. The plan was to have it like this. And then we need another corner grabber in which we can feed it around. And then after moving some stuff around, I would just be able to go to the side like this and put the pot in, which is a bit of an inconvenience, but it does work. Or I can sacrifice space so I can put that in. Question is, do I want to do that? Answer is probably a no, but do I really have a choice right now? I think I'm going to get rid of some stuff. For instance, the dish rack I don't really need right now. I might need it later and I'll just look out for it. The plates, I only need 3 automated plates at the moment, so I'll probably get rid of 2 of these. This full stack of plates I don't need, maybe later, but that's not too bad either. So for my rerolls at 310 right now per reroll, so that's also going to be costly. I'll figure out a strategy, but for now I just want to avoid it. Okay. Teleporter. I need a grabber to get started. I probably do need to take one of these 2 existing grabbers, and I'll just try to research another smart grabber rotator. Unfortunately, that's the plan. Oh, I also have a perk because this is the second iteration of a restaurant, where whenever you buy a card, it generates a new card. Okay, let's see how this works. If this works, we're done. Oh, I forgot to switch that back. There we go. So as long as I can... Oh, actually, there's going to be an issue with this. Multiple issues, it looks like. And this supersedes what I wanted to do originally. Because look at that pot, it's just gone. I need to have another combiner. And that combiner must point towards the hop like this. So that means I'm going to have to extend this out by 1 more. And then... Oh, that is a pain in the ass. Oh, no, right there. No. 3rd time's the charm, baby. Okay, so I need to have this out here. Which means I can combine this out to 1 more length. I don't like this. I actually really dislike this. I have an alternate idea. Which I'm gonna just quickly make this straight again. Okay. We're gonna portion out to over here. Make sure I have the correct setup for that. So that will cook. I really, really wanted the setup to maybe allow for a corner reach like this, but that doesn't seem like it's going to be viable. Because otherwise I could do that, which I can just make another combiner appear here and put it on. Unfortunately, we can't get that to work the way we want to. However, I do have this backup where I can use this combiner as needed. I'll show the idea once more. It's going to be something like that, so I could just keep this left side open as I need it. And then I would just use the tomatoes right there, feed it straight, and then let it come out. But it's just not going to work. The reason for that is we have nothing to pull from this combiner onto this here. I was going to call it a spinner because I forgot what it's called for a sec. Words are failing me right now. Yeah. To this mixer. So that's the only step that's missing from this. If I could, I would just have this feed one line back and push it forward, but I don't think that's going to be viable either. However, I might be able to do something as well by putting this. No, I can't. I'd say by putting this stove right here, I could do a few more things, but I don't have the space for it. Otherwise, I'd be able to put the freezer in this spot and then feed it to a teleporter right here, which I think would be pretty cool. But yeah, no, that's not happening. That is definitely not happening. Okay. So now we're back to the drawing board. What is the plan? I have an alternative thing to consider by putting the... Okay, I can save some kitchen space and sacrifice some dining room space by putting the frozen tables here, out here, so that way we would just pick up from the teleporter directly here. We can push things back a little bit and rearrange the setup over here. I don't know how well it would work though, so that'd be something to consider, especially since the setup here forces the teleporter to be isolated. So I'd still have the vegetables to consider. I could still work with that a little bit though. Maybe put the first teleport right here, feed it corner, and push it out. I might actually do that. So I would do this, and then we feed the teleporter behind. And then I'm gonna go ahead and grab this because we can replace with some other parts as needed to form the corner belts. Thankfully, it's already set up the way we want it, so we'll do that. We can then move the vegetable a little bit. We just need another corner grabber, unfortunately. We'll go ahead and grab this one for now. It's going to be changed a little bit, but we can do that. And using this, we now have 2 free spaces here. If I can somehow maneuver the pumpkin seeds to be changed a little bit, then I can feed it back here. We're short by 1 space though, or actually by 2 spaces. I have a strategy for this, a risky strategy, but a strategy nonetheless. If I get rid of this frozen prep station for the seeds, that eliminates any need for the limited space. Or I'm not even sure what I'm saying right now. I'm just thinking. Because I don't need that much resources for the bird seeds, as I will continuously call it. So we'll do that. This unfortunately requires me to use so many corner grabbers that I now have to position everything carefully, which thankfully I don't even have to worry about right here, because I can just replace. No, that already had it. I meant to go over here. There we go. That on. Make sure we can walk past this because I have the garbage can for disposal in case I need to throw away any items. I can't test that here though. Okay, so we have that moved out of the way. You can put this right here, like so. And then, boom. That gives us 2 free thingies like that. And I can get rid of this frozen prep station. It's not my favorite strategy, but it works. So we're going to go ahead and do that. I'm going to go ahead and replace this belt back here. I'm going to move out of the way. Make sure we can throw the pumpkin husks out. Whenever we don't need them. We'll see how long this takes to set up. Usually we have enough time for customers to walk in anyways. We'll have a backup of 2 of these, so we'll be fine. Please throw that on there. And they don't take too long to cook. You know, they're relatively quicker. So we're safe there. And that's going to take care of another problem. We now have the opportunity to move the pumpkins there, turn it around to the mixer right there. However, we need the mixer to be present, so that way, whenever we feed the pumpkins in, we're able to bless me, move the seeds and throw those away here. So what is the alternate approach we have to this? If we move the meat, so I'm going to move me over here, like something like right here. I do want to keep the table for that. So let's say we put the teleporter back there and we just fold it inside instead of going back there. Is that how we had it? I feel like that's how we had it. If we do that... Oh, I need to get rid of this here as well. There's my danger hub. And that gives us a little bit more room to work with. I can do the splitting portion right here. Like so. Take that out. Beautiful. This is what I wanted. Because we'll just feed out the seeds. We'll feed them out somewhere, but for right now we can say right here, we take one of these bins, well this is the bin to do it actually, and just throw it away right there. Now what we need to do, we need to think about that. What do we need to do now? We need to be able to get the pumpkins back. Feed the line into this mixer. So we'll take another corner. Don't move that. And feed it through. We have an extra spot right here, which is less than ideal. So I also want to figure out how to manage that. Now I'm looking over here at the soups. And maybe I can push this in. So that way I have the teleporter right here. But that still is not going to fix the issue at hand. Oh wait, no, I'm an idiot. Okay. I don't like this option either, just because I have to force it to go to the right and then go onto a combiner whenever I have the... I already have the conveyor belt ready, like the conveyor mixer. So it should just go right onto... Like, let's say, for instance, I have it like this. So it just goes automatically right onto it. If I can get the pumpkins to instead do something like this, then that will work. I'm going to test and see if that works, because if it does, then we are saved. And it does! Beautiful. That actually is going to help a lot. Okay, we're gonna move the seeds right there. Okay, that is good news. That is very good news. Because now I have more space to work with. Let's just make sure that everything is good to go. I don't need this. I don't even know why I have the portion right there anymore. Maybe that was the portion I was thinking of earlier of using, but I couldn't find it. So there it is. That is an extra portioner. Okay. I'm going to perform one more test. If I can use this conveyor belt right here, the corner conveyor belt, I'm just going to keep the portioner there because it doesn't matter. I think I tested this and it failed, but I'm going to check once more. Okay. Never mind. I was on something. So this is good because now I can move the pie onto this conveying belt only once it's done cooking. That is lovely for me because that means I have this space to work with, and I could probably make one extra space down here somewhere. Okay. Beautiful. So I just do it like that. I could actually just maintain a straight posture for this. I'm going to try that actually. I'm going to utilize that same smart grabber because it's already assigned to the pumpkin pie. That's beautiful. I'm going to try to make some room here for the meat, so it's a little bit easier to access back here. Let me make sure I can access it. With ghost mode, you can't really test this. I can, so that's good. Beautiful. And now I'm able to manipulate the space I have back here for the tomato soup a bit more. I have this free. I'm gonna put this outside because I do not need it inside right now. Not at all. If I put the tomatoes right here, that allows two separate paths. Let's say I put the hob right there. I'm technically able to do that, but it's going to be a bit painful because I'm losing a space over here somewhere. An alternative to this is the idea I was trying to think of earlier. We move this to up here. We bring the... Actually, let's do that. Never mind, I had an idea. I will move this to go to the right. EP out. What is the problem with this? Let's see. I have this space, which is a bit tight. And then I have back here to utilize as I need, which I can use for the teleporter. Like so. Which allows us to use the portion right there. But that forces us to choose a direction, which I'll put the hob right there. Let's say we put it right there. We run into a similar dilemma where I have to force tomatoes. The biggest problem here is forcing the tomatoes to go into two separate directions, which I need to choose just one. Kind of like how I have the meat and the carrot, but I still have another solution. What if I moved one of these two stations over here instead? That might actually work beautifully. At least a lot better than what I'm trying to do. So I'm gonna do that. Let's do that with meat. And then I'm gonna put things back. This is still gonna go to the side like so. We're gonna feed the station like that. And now we have the transport station back to how it was originally. I am going to force the next transporter to go right there. We're gonna put the meat soups right there. Turn it in using that conveyor. And now we have some options. If we portion the soup right there, we can cook it using that setup. Or I can also alternatively turn the setup to allow the feeding system in a different direction. I'm trying to think this through. Because meat also has to be placed in a manner that I can just put it on right away. So if I do that, then I turn it and then feed it onto a combiner. And that should work just fine. Put it right there, for instance. I put it in a sideways turn like so. This will give me some potential here to work with, because I'm going to have to utilize space for the... I'm trying to think this through. Tomato is going to be the hardest part of this. Without using the extensive railroad of Radbers. It's probably going to have to be the solution for now. Yeah, we'll go for that. I'm going to move the tomatoes out for now. I'm going to put a separate system up for carrots and just move it somewhere back here. I think that's going to be the easiest approach for now. So I'm going to deconstruct this setup for now. It's making me cry every time I do this. But hopefully it'll be worth it once we're done. Okay. So we have the carrots come out. It's just going to look like a mess. Sorry in advance. I don't know how else to position everything. Everything is already outside. Okay. Let's put the meat over here instead. We're going to put a combiner on this side instead. And that leaves us this open space to work with. So now that's there. I can do what I need to, put the pot on, etc., etc. Beautiful. I'm going to try to utilize the carrots space. Oh, I need to also feed the... Okay, one more thing. I need to feed the meat soup into the actual location. Why is my wand on 7? What is 7? Okay, we're going to ignore it for now. We'll put everything back in place, but the wand is not going to be staying there. I keep on, like, debating whether or not I need the wands. Oh, there it is. Because I use it to clean up messes, but we have these floor mats. I still need it temporarily because the hobs will make mess. And that is hard to maneuver around, so that's the unfortunate truth. How are we going to... Can I just have free space here? I don't like having that free space. Trying to figure out what I want to do with that free space. I'm going to try to keep that there for now. There we go. I don't have the combiner being used right now, so we keep it like that. I still have this free space as well to consider, but maybe I can utilize that. I can't do it with the carrots, though, is the sad part. There's a way I could utilize that. Oh, actually, this gives me a beautiful idea. Put the carrots over there, make it long ways, and then I'm going to put the tomatoes over here. Like so. We're going to turn it out. I'm going to have the third hob. So put it right here. We're going to have a combiner. Take that. Thinking. Second combiner right there. We're going to turn this onto that. This is the sad part. We put that at the edge, and we still need something to connect the two. So that unfortunately seems like it's still going to, unless, hold on. Let me look up, I want to see if there's any images, because if there's a way to combine multiple onto the same portion without an extra hub, then I'm going to be much happier. But it looks like... Oh! Okay, idea. An idea, by idea, I mean I'm going to steal something I found online. So, I can feed. This is going to be a small sacrifice. How do I want to do this? I'm going to try to position this in a way that matches the diagram I found. But if you put it like this, I'm going to turn it real quick. So you put it this way, and then you're going to have two of those. We're going to put the hob right there. Right? My object permanence is not the best today, which is a bit concerning, but we struggle onward. Okay. My idea was I was going to put this with a second conveyor facing the same way here. But it's actually these two rows, this where the conveyors are, that are going to feel the full effects. And I can't do that there. More specifically, if I continue with this pattern, which I can flip-flop it, so I'm not too concerned, then it will cause the hop to be on the wrong side, and I can't access it. So, excuse me for one quick second while I do some voodoo magic. There you go. And then I'm just gonna suck this up. I'm gonna use the extra space to just take care of trash, which I'll use a corner hob, or hob, a corner that thing, take care of the trash. And that way I have a bit more room to work with right here. So now, I'm gonna get rid of this real quick. Carrots will be fielded over here instead. What was this for again? Maybe that's just wasted space right now. What does 3 go to? It's one of the table items. Oh, hold on. Screenshot. 3 was originally 4. The screenshot is too large and I have to move it around to see what I can move around. Don't move too much. There we go. 3 is not labeled. I cannot see the labeling for 3. Really? 4 goes to the seeds. Okay. Oh, it was for the meat. Okay, meat pie is fine, which I changed to an 8. So yeah, that's fair game. All right, got it. I got it. So we're gonna go back. Moving, I'm touching everything I should not be right now. Okay. If we put the carrots right here, turn it around like so. I want to use this space somehow, and I think this the trick to do that is by feeding the carrots this way, which yes, we can do that. This is a very inconvenient setup because now I have to like reach around to go to this. It works. It's a pain in the ass, but it works. Okay. Or does it? Hold on. An issue with the setup is now we don't have space for the portioner, which is a necessity. And it might be easier to just run it this way. Okay. Well, we still have plenty of space in the middle. That's a good part. That's good. Portioner right here. If we do this, then it gets in the way of the hob. I can still do this though. Because now if we do this... Can we do this actually? Because I'm gonna have the pot right there cooked. I'm gonna get rid of that. So now we have access to go in that direction. We can't access this hob unless we put it down. I want to wrap it around, which I could do that still. Like so. Welcome in, Mark. This is a maze of hell. That's all I'm going to say. This is a maze of hell. How's it going, my dude? Oh yeah, I can't get to the supplies! Whoops. Doing good, heck yeah. I needed that, my dude. Have you played PlateUp before? We'll start there. I streamed it a few years ago, but I just recently got back into it myself. Okay. So we're gonna cook that. It's gonna do this business. Okay. I'm gonna say you were missing out. I would recommend, especially for programming. What the heck? Solution. For a programming mindset, I heavily recommend it. Because it's a lot of problem solving and management with optimization. It's a lot of fun, dude. It is a lot of fun. Okay. We're gonna pull that out. We're gonna twist it around. And actually, we have enough space to do this, so I'm actually very excited. Twist it around. Feed the soup through. Teleport it. If I can do it like this, maybe I may be able... No, I'm not going to be able to squeeze through, but I'm still able to wrap around as I need to get there. So that works beautifully. We just need to do that. Let's make sure that everything works accordingly. Yes, you got the right mindset on that, my dude. This is how you become the optimal coder. You don't just don't do it. It's not worth it. Nah, honestly, it's a very fun game. If you like to, again, this is a special case where I'm using a customized level to build everything. But through the general game, you have limited space. You have to try to fit everything, and as the game gets more difficult, you have to feed more people because people like your restaurant. So for that aspect, and every so often you get cards which make you do things. So that's pretty fun. That's the big portion of it. If you want, Mark, we can make a mod so you can play Clash of Clans. We can make this played up base or Clash of Clans base. Easy. That'd be kind of funny, actually. Okay. So that works. Actually, technically, I have played Clash of Clans. I don't think I've played it like much though. Like I don't know what the game is about, honestly. It's like I guess compared to everything that's out there right now, even though it is the father of all those kinds of games, it's like a stereotypical kind of game in which you build a base, defend it, attack other people, gather resources, that kind of stuff. Okay, we could do a cannon shooting out meatballs. That'd actually be pretty. I was gonna say easy. No, it's not. Pretty sufficient. Put a cannon right here. Make it splash into the table, so that I can feed the customers. I like that idea. That'd be kind of cool though, because it's hard to like direct everything into a certain direction. Everything moves one by one, excluding the teleporters, which are just godsend. They're basically the broken aspect of the game. But that'd be so cool, dude. All right, let's see. I have an idea. I'm not going to like the idea, but I have an idea. I'm going to move the research tables back here and put it into 2 columns. We'll have backups, but we're not really researching too much or copying too much. We will soon, but for now, I think we're good with what we have. And then we'll put the rest of the tomato monstrosity down here. I think that's what we need to do. I'm trying to think if there's an alternate solution to that. Right now, I'm not seeing any, but it's so hard, dude. So hard. Okay. I wish I could just like throw these away. Blueprints, because I don't want these. I need more space so I can drag space like stuff out. Okay, time to become a dinosaur again. Let's see. I want to ideally use the tomatoes over there. I can't. So we'll move the platform over there. Move the desk over there. As well as this desk. Research, I'll go ahead and place down. I don't think I'm really going to do too much with it. I might need more mixers. I don't want to... Yeah, I just need to copy the mixers. So I need to also copy the teleporters. That's my main copy concern. That's the one, cost one. I'll put this over by 1 more. And then... put that there. Metal tables, I think we're good on for now, because I can put on 1 more thing and that should be good. I'll have to figure out how to optimize the table setup, which also means I'm going to have to invest in an ordering terminal, so that way I don't have to look at them whenever they order. They'll just order and then I'll just teleport from where I'm standing. So that way I can go long ways. That's also going to kill me if I don't do that soon. So, right now we're going to keep it as is, which means I have to redo all this up here again. That's fine. The time will come when that happens. Okay. That sideways. Metal table, I still want to do... I'll hold off on duplicating that. Move it over here for now, if I can pick it up. There we go. Combiner, I need more. So we'll go ahead and copy that. Research it. And then I still want, this is the standard smart grabber. I want to get the, yeah, I want this corner grabber to be researched too. I don't want to, or to copy. Oh, how much is this? 4? Okay, I can do 4 coins. So you talking over the game is practically you leaving a comment on the lines of the codes. Could you imagine? You just have a full code base and it's just like hundreds upon hundreds of comments for one single line of code. I feel like that's what I'm effectively doing right now. It's just making a shit ton of comments for one line of code. Or maybe just one small function. That'd be funny though. Okay. But yes, that's what I'm essentially doing right now. Teleport is right there. I don't want to make a mistake by accidentally researching that. So I'll move those around. How much is this TP? 157. We're going to reduce its cost some more. Actually, I can pull this through to the side like so. I'll put a little thingy to block oil from hitting the ground there and there. And now I'm going to put this somewhere else, actually. So I want to have as much space as possible for creating the diabolical station we're about to make. Where are my tomatoes? Right there. To recap, to make tomatoes, we need to have a whole tomato. We need to have a squished up tomato. And then we cook that in the pot. So I won't be able to read you guys for a quick sec. I'm gonna look up the reference once more. Need another turnable thingy, which I'm going to use this instead. We'll fix that here in a moment. Along with this. And I'm going to put the... Okay, this works beautifully. I'm going to put the hob right here. We're going to put a... Right, is this how we're doing it? Oh, no, I had it set up for this way. Okay, that's my mistake. That's fine, though. It's not too bad. There we go. We have a combiner right here. And we have another combiner right here. That's going to allow the tomatoes to be put onto the station. And then we can feed it some other way. Which I'm going to go ahead and fix real quick. Because this can be put down a better way. If I move these out of the way real quick. It's a bit of a pain with how it's positioned right here, but it does its job. Unless... No, I'm still going back to the same route. So this is the way we minimize it. I'll go ahead and get you guys back up on screen. Thanks for the hydrate, Mark. Damn. We're doing a shit ton of talking on this. Alright. We need to keep that there. So that way we're able to minimize the space used. As a consequence, though, we lose a spot. I was wanting to try to see if I can preserve as many spots as possible. Which I will be able to in the long run. Right now... Oh, will I? Hold on. I'm going to try something else real quick. This will be a bit easier to manage, because now I can feed out this way, and it shouldn't cause an issue. I have a portioner somewhere. I've been misplacing every single thing. So we use that portion right there. Yeah, this is going to do it. This is going to do it. All right, let me quickly turn this. I could probably turn it later, but we'll just turn it right now. Yeah, this is do it. This is it. I'll go ahead and convert that to soup as we need it. We're gonna grab a freezing station. And now we can teleport this out. We lack a teleporter at the moment. This is still viable. And now I want to see if I can actually conserve space somewhere else. Because I can push this back, I can rotate it, but I just can't fill up that space down there. I also remembered that we have to sacrifice a... Put those there. We have to sacrifice a teleporter this round. Because I don't have enough space for everything. Yeah, that's correct. Okay. My final decision is to determine whether or not I want to keep this in its current spot, or if I can push things down by 2 levels at the consequence of... No, better idea, actually. I was going to say at the consequence of losing a spot, but no. If we actually move everything down, we're going to be just fine. And it's because of this little guy right here. That's the one thing I was overlooking. So we're going to put that down. Like so. But we do sacrifice this spot down here, which I want to find a way to move the mixer back by 1 if I can. But that's still... Oh, unless I do this. Yeah, this works better, actually. It's messy, but it does the job. Because all this is now is a feeder. However we want to set it up, I'll probably grab this to use the teleporter back here. Which I'm going to replace the carrot teleporter with the Merrick teleporter. That's probably what I have to do for now. Yeah, and that will do it. So now we can put the sink somewhere in an even spot. Probably right here, so I can move back here and research as I need to. And then it's awkward to put these in the center like this, but it works. Maybe I can like put the pots somewhere else, but the onions in a designated location too. And that's a lot of space in the middle now. The problem now, even though we have this figured out, the problem now is figuring out where everything else goes. Which I did mention I was going to throw away some stuff. I want to keep some plates. I'm going to keep 3 of these. I'm probably going to get rid of the sink and just bet that I won't need it for now. I'll just put the tables back, which I can't put the table right there. I'm going to get rid of the... I don't want to get rid of the coffee table. I should have a backup being researched. I do want to keep the portioner. So, I'm just going to screenshot this because I know I'm going to need it at some point. Here's a reference. Let me actually do this once more. Now it feeds. Let's make sure that... I can't even see the tomatoes because my microphone arm is in front of my monitor. But... Oh! I forgot something, actually. Rather, I made a mistake, so I'm just going to fix it real quick. There we go. Now we can test this out. So now we have that set up. I'm going to grab an onion all the way from over here, which this is not going to work. I need this to be more convenient position. Right now, though, not much of an issue. Everything else is lined up perfectly. I'm missing my 3. Oh! You know what? I don't actually have to limit my teleporters. Beautiful. That makes me happy. That makes me very happy. Because I can just do that for 6. 3 goes to the carrots now. And everything just feeds out to the table directly. Amazing. Okay. I'm going to put the pots right here. And we're just going to fill up the space for now. And I can do that for 2 of these. I like the extra blueprint, so that's what we're going to manage. Less grease, so this should work beautifully. So now we have those teleporting out. And, yeah, it's just about conserving the space now. If I put this here, then we lose a chair. Which I can do that, actually. So I'm going to. Don't move that. There we go. There we go. All right. I could get rid of one of these robot cleaners, but I'm going to try to keep 3 on board. I need to keep this space open right here. Might be fine to place something. So I'm going to place... Let's put this last research desk here. That's going to cover it up because the chair's in the way. Okay. Unfortunate, but we really can't do much about that. So we're going to put this research desk back here. Let me make sure that I can reach the desks in the back. Beautiful. That's what I want. I looked at the time. We're at about an hour and a half. So this took us about an hour to an hour and 15 minutes, which is just insanity, to be honest. But as long as we're producing results, that's all that matters in the end. we're going to be insane for it, so be it. Okay. Now we get to do the fun stuff of putting things back in their place. I'm going to clear this out during the level and just throw everything away. That's fine. These dishes I'm going to leave. We have 1, 2. We need 1 more automatic plate. Because I didn't realize we have all the pie types already created, so there's nothing else we can create. So we have that position now. I need the onions to be here instead, so we'll put the plates down here. I don't have an extra combiner right now. I need to research another combiner so I can take this apple for the dessert and place it on here. I'm fine with the current setup because all I have to do is just collect it once and I'm good to go. But I could also sacrifice the current setup by using combiner right here, push the nuts out by 1, slide the apples over by 1, and that creates a lot more space down below. I'm going to try to actually do that soon. Well, next turn actually, because I'll be able to copy. Yeah, that's gonna be fine. Okay. Sink. I do want a backup sink if possible, but I might also sacrifice it because we have a stack of 2. It might be worth getting a 3rd one later on. I'm gonna get rid of the coffee table, unfortunately. But we will have sink right here works. I need things to go in certain spots. As long as I can walk across, we're good to go. I need to keep a gap right there. Plates. How many plates do I have? I have 1, 2, and 3, so I don't need those plates. I want the research cabinets. I'll put one right there. I'll put one right there. We have these 2 spots still. I'm gonna get rid of the... I'm gonna do that actually. We'll get rid of the this rack, which would be nice to have, but it's just inconvenient to keep. Well, actually, I could keep it, couldn't I? But now I have to put this... Oh, I have this spot here, actually. I do that, we still have that hub, and then we create this space for research table, which I can probably switch these two out now. That makes more sense. Okay, that works, actually. So it's kind of still limited on space, but now we have an open walkway. That's what matters most. This would drive me wild to live in, or to work in, but we have to make sacrifices where we have to make sacrifices. I have two options for selection, and if there's anything I can select, I will. We'll use that. Let's go ahead and test this just one quick moment. So in a standard level, don't drop the onions. All right. If we make a mistake, we have to restart. Because we do not have the space to move around nicely. Like that. I made a mistake again. Fuck. Alright. Once more. Let's try this once more. We're gonna have to start by cooking this twice, so we get an opportunity to make enough portions to get us started. Corner? Or actually, I might just get rid of that research. Okay. That's doable. Tomato soup in. We have all of our spots filled that we need to, and we're still able to grab our pies. So now they automatically collect. Where's my brush? Oh, it's behind something. I'll move that. Now the issue is, well, actually, it's not an issue. I was gonna say, if I make a mistake by grabbing the wrong pie, I can just still throw it away. Okay, not a problem. Not the problem. Move these two. Rather, I'll play a bit smart, and we're going to make enough space to walk across. A little bit more breathable room. Oh! I have space right here, actually, to place something. So let's place... I want to place the coffee table, but I don't think I can. Or is it worth it? So I'll place the dish rack. And we'll just keep that sturdy in that place. I can put something else here, actually. Might as well keep other things. This is the hoarder nature coming out. Okay. Just need to cancel it, actually, so I'm not going to do that. All right, goodbye. I'd rather take the standard plates, as that might be useful later. Why is that blocking? Oh, never mind. I should not place anything here, because we are blocking the chair axis. Because you have to walk around to it rather than walking across the tables. I feel like I'm explaining this by moving my mouse, but I forgot that I'm not capturing my mouse. But right here, it's hard to see because of the things in the way, but right there is the issue. I can't place it down, so we're just gonna have to deal with it. All right, for realsies this time. And if I mess up, I have to restart the level. All right, what you guys want? Of course you want tomato. Of course you want tomato. Bim, 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 bim. Bim, 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 down, down, down. What do I even want, actually? Now that I think about it, what do I even want? I didn't think hard enough. All right, that should be. I'll go ahead and get this down too. Now we can focus on customers as we need to. Okay. I'll just go ahead and start throwing those away real quick. Veggie pie, no problem. I should probably get a board ready. There we go. Welcome to my hell. I could probably do... No, not a portioner. I'll skip the portioner. Okay, make sure we... Well, we can actually now forgive ourselves if we accidentally put it in the portioner, the tomato soup canister. Because now it's not going to go anywhere. We have plenty of space to work with. I like that we can see the actual tables now. We're through the madness that we can actually see everything because of the level design. Thank God. They want desserts? Please don't be bored. Okay, thank God. It's just pies. Everyone wants a pie. It doesn't matter if it's for the entree, if it's for dessert. Pie is pie. Yeah, this is losing us time if we keep on going back and forth everywhere. So yeah, next step is to automate the actual pots. I had an elaborate design. I wish I still had it. I might have a picture somewhere of placing the boards in like a three directions. I thought it was the coolest thing ever, the design. I don't know. This is going all right so far. We have 2 sets of tables not occupied just yet. Make that 3. It's raining outside. And we're about halfway, so we just need to focus on getting customers satisfied. As long as they don't order too many desserts. Apples. I'll go and order those, actually. I might be able to separate those two if I have distinct apple locations. Okay. What is going on? Oh, what happened? Huh? What happened to the pumpkin pies? Hold on. This is not complete. This is incomplete. We tested it. It was fine. And then it wasn't. Okay. We brought the pumpkins. The crust is the only thing that's cooking. We don't have confirmation of the actual pumpkin being cooked correctly. As a consequence to that, it causes the ecosystem to fail. Oh. So that gives me an idea. A very disgusting idea, but an idea nonetheless. I can use the same trash can. Take care of the seeds. That gives us 1 free space. Where did I put the... I don't know. if I move this trash can out of the way. We were so close to greatness. And here we are. Oh, I can't do this either. So I was going to say, if we put everything to the bottom, then we straighten out the meat to wrap this way. And then we just force the pumpkins to be made there. And now we can use the device like that. But that also defeats the purpose of what we're trying to go for. So that's not going to work either. And the reason for that is we need to... Well, there's two things going on with it. One, we're still not telling what kind of thing we can take off. We still need the pumpkins to go there. But... Oh, okay. We were so close to greatness, man. We were so close. I'm gonna test something silly. It's probably not going to work, but golly gee whiz, I'm going to try it anyways. The name is Science. Okay. We have a pumpkin. It's going to mix. I screwed up the order. Hold on. Hold on. Because what we can do is we can force the entry to be the correct thing. So let me do that. Practice. I need okay. 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 Don't mind the madness, just let me do my thing. I need to... Okay. So it requires a combiner still. And as long as we get that combiner down. Did I take a picture? Yes. Okay. I'm still going to try to keep this as is because I do like the notion of having the dedicated trash can here to save a space if possible. Now we have a new problem. The fuck we gonna do about the pumpkin pie? This is why I don't like pumpkin pie. This shit right here. Okay. We're going to... Can I do this? Something like this, maybe? Where we feed... We're going to feed the... Well, we still have to wait on the resource. We have to wait on the belt to be able to drag the item out. Let me combine the two. Ooh. This is tricky. This is tricky. Tricky. I've had this brownie in front of me for the last 2 hours. So I'm taking a quick bite. made this kind of brownie where I forgot the company name or the brand name. It's just a mix. You add an egg, water, and vinegar to it. Pop into the oven after you mixed in everything. And then I'll cut it in half. I'll fold it over, but I'll put icing in between to make like a brownie sandwich. Kind of like a cookie sandwich, but with brownie instead. Oh, it's so fucking rich. But I love it. I love it. Okay. What are we going to do? The goal is to combine the pies together. So the pie with the pumpkin before it goes on to a smart conveyor. That way we can force it to be a pumpkin, which I'm going to go ahead and change now. Then we can cook it. We can use any kind of conveyor belt because it does not matter. It still needs to finish cooking before it can be used. I'm going to temporarily borrow a belt somewhere. Is there a free belt to use? Looks like there is not. So we're going to go with plan B, practice mode. Straighten out this belt. You're good. For anyone being introduced to this game, welcome to the insanity that is Played Up. Everything seems fine and dandy until you fuck yourself. Okay, we're gonna take these seeds out. Okay, they're not gonna combine just yet. Now we have that covered. Plan 1 complete. We have a 2-space area here. And if need be, we can move the pumpkins over here too. I can push the carrots back a little bit. Okay. So ideally, I want to put the mixer there. It pulls off from the mixer the seeds and then keeps the pumpkin husk open. And mix, so you put it onto there. And then use the conveyor belt over here from the other mixer. If I put it right there, there's no way that it can come out. Because otherwise I would put the safety hob right there and the rest is history. Actually I would not. I would just force it like that. And then I'd have to reconstruct this area again. Which I guess that's not the end of the world. I'll just have to find a new home for these research stables again. For right now, maybe I should put the... Remember the safety hub. Pumpkin up here somewhere. I can't though, because I still need to... Idea. Pumpkin right here. Mixer right there. Eats. I might have to extend this by 1 conveyor belt length, but this allows us to input the mixture as needed. Will it? Problem solving. The idea is to have the mix right there. I'm gonna quickly move the sink out of the way. So that way it's a little bit more consistent with placement. It's a bit of a pain to get started, but it'll be easier to at least capture the sink in different directions. Not the concern right now, but just a note. What if I revisit this idea again? I'm gonna put that there. Extend the... Yeah, we'll extend the raw dough out. I'll go ahead and add to the conveyor belt. We will do that. Okay, we could do this. Yeah, okay. I got it now. We're going to have to force the contraption to move out by a space, which is unfortunate, but right now I do not see any other way of doing this. Thank you, Saribot. Okay. We're going to force the pumpkin to go through this. We can't use... Okay, so the unfortunate part to this is we cannot use a smart grabber there. The reason being... I need that one there too. But the reason being is this pumpkin is going to change on this belt before it continues forward. So we need to use a standard grabber, which I should have somewhere. Oh, just right here. Okay, we still have it. Nice. We have these two, actually. I'm gonna fix this. So now it's combined, as it should be. Now we can use this conveyor belt. Put that on there. Force it onto the hob. I have two options with this, which I'm looking for quick belts, which I may not have an extra of. Maybe we only have one option right now. So my thought process is I can complete this section by being able to... Oh, I have multiple issues with this, actually. Okay. My thought process was I was going to be able to complete the runway by allowing myself to put the frozen prep station right here, extend it to... Oh, I know, we're good, we're good. We will put the frozen prep station right here. We would have one more belt to then put the teleporter right here. Oh, we can do it, actually. Never mind, we're good. I was like, where do I even find to do this? But we've got it figured out. We've got it. We're fine. In this one, I am able to use smart. I really don't think I have any available to use, so we're just going to use standard hobs, or standard, I'm forgetting words left and right. I really am. The word's there. It's the thingy, it's the belt that does its thing. Okay, yeah, this is significantly better. I didn't lose any space, ironically, but that's because we had to add the extra belt in. The conveyor belt. That's the word, conveyor. And that way we forced the pie to be constructed in the manner that it should be. Which unfortunately, we couldn't do it in the way in which we relied on the secondary belt to only pull a completely cooked pie into the premise. That's fine. I'm going to sacrifice the space. Right now, I can't see another solution. I guess the better option would be to isolate the area to a new spot, but I'm not going to do that. I'm happy with what we have. It's good enough. As long as everything works, good enough. What does 6 refer to? Oh yeah, the tomato soup we haven't made yet. Okay. Now, there's one thing I have to do when we should be good. But we got the hard part out of the way. The slightly easy part. Where the hell am I going to put this? Right there. Okay, we're good. Now we're good. Put that there. Don't mess up. Otherwise, I have to do this again. All right. You guys want tomato? Of course you do. That's fine. Gives me a chance to research, which is very short-lived. But so be it. I need these to be completed. Okay, meat and mushroom. They want dessert? Of course they want the board! Fuck! That's fine. That's fine. One more tomato should get us good for a while. We'll go ahead and do the meat as well. We'll just focus on customer. Another board! At least I can take you now. And I just realized my sinks are not blocked. So I have space. So I'll definitely take that. Everyone wants dessert today. The fuck? Better not be a board. I'm gonna be so sad. It's a fucking board. It's a fucking board! Wrong table. The RNG was just so lucky last time. So good. There we go. Apple pie I will take. Veggie. Okay. What happened to my birdseed? Oh, it's backed up right now. Shit. Okay, well that's a problem. Oh, because they're sharing the same trash can! Fuck! So it's gonna take longer and it's prioritizing one over the other. That is a significant issue. Okay. We cannot combine the two trash cans into one. I'm gonna take another bite of the brownie. Good news and bad news. The good news is we do have space to move things to the side by one, at least by one, probably by two. And all I have to do is just move these out and move the mushrooms up here so I can push the pumpkins back. Bad news is I have to figure out a spot to put these, which I can just share some spots up here. Maybe move the research tables across a little bit more. It's all moving, but it'll do the job. Alright, back to the grind. Oh, we can't do this, can we? Yeah, we can. I keep on forgetting we're not using these chairs, and that's just free. It's free reign for storage. It really is, and I don't know why I'm not using it. Do I have space? Yeah, I do. I was gonna tell myself I didn't, but then I'd just be lying to myself. Look at all that space! That's 3 spots! That still means I have to figure out more space to put other stuff. Shit. You know what? Plan for now. I'm just gonna put random stuff here. Which this is fine. I just need to make sure that this is in the correct order real quick. So let me fix that real quick. One thing I wanted to do, I did not do. And now I have to fix it. Actually, I didn't even have to do any of this. I just had to get rid of this counter. Fuck me, man. Right? Right? Yeah, this is for the seeds. Okay. Oh, okay. Never mind. I got it. I got it. I'm going to replace this right here so I can input a separate system. I need to get back there so I can place a pie on real quick. And now it's fixed. I have an optimal approach I can take from this because I have 1 space now being forfeited. 2, actually. Before I go on further, let's test this. Alright, we're good. We're good. I don't know if that sigh went through. I hope it did. I just feel like the biggest dumbass right now. I feel like one. Because now this isn't even being used anymore. Now it's gonna go play with the customers. Have fun, buddy. All right. Now I can do this. There's probably something I forgot. And it's just gonna come back. It's just gonna come back in some way. I'm just gonna question reality as it is. And that's okay. Why did I not have an onion? Oh well. Get your food. Thanks for not choosing the new Option at Hardee's. It's gonna call my. It's time to call my restaurant Hardee's. That's what it is by this point. That's all it is. Wait, what happened to my trash can? I forgot to put a trash can. That's fine. Save it for next round. Save it for next round. We'll be fine. And they both want desserts. Who would have thought? We're fine. We'll be fine. I'm just like, I'm drained, but I'm like satisfied that I'm drained. Because now we have everything we need. We have everything in place. And... ah, fuck me. Okay, we'll deal with that carefully. Right now, we don't have the appropriate facilities to handle mistakes. Yeah, we do. We're good. Hi, board. I'd rather use that meat pie, though, because I want to be able to have all my plates. I'll take a combiner. Desserts! They're coming in quite fast. Okay, we have to wait for that to come through. That's fine. Meats, thank you. I'm gonna prioritize the smaller tables. It's not how I like to play. I like to follow by order basis, but fuck it. People are asking for very complex things, and others will suffer because of them. Now, whose fault is it? It's still mine because I choose what I do, but... it's fine. It'll be fine. They have to walk such a long way to get to the table, though, which is a bit of a concern. A smidge of a concern. But it'll be fine in the end. Okay, 2 mushroom. With a plate, please. And I'm gonna refill the tomato soup. I can't necessarily see the full setup again because of the microphone boom arm, but I can tell, thankfully, because of the portioner, whenever something is not there. So that's why I'm using it as my indication right now. I can kind of see it through the springs a little bit, but it's still a bit wonky. Okay, soups are still doing good. Okay, you want desserts? Of course you do, and of course it has to be the board! There's a way to automate the board. I don't know how with the current setup because we are deviating to 2 separate paths, and the board can go on either one of those paths. I have an idea, actually. If we use a teleporter to take off the board and the plate, have them go in 2 separate directions, that will fix the problem. But I don't know if I have the space for it. Otherwise, I'm probably going to have to sacrifice some of the tables in the main lounge. That's probably what's going to happen. I'll figure out something, though. Soup. That one I did see. I can see the smidge. I'm so thankful I can. Okay, mushroom. Oh, one thing I should explain, by the way. I think I went with charming. Apple pie? What's going on with the apple pie? Shit. Okay, well, that's going to be a risk to the finish. is very bad on 2 accounts. Because now I'm holding back customers. Oh, fuck me. Okay. We're still going to be able to complete this. It's just going to be very tight. And yes, that is what he said. What kind of rush for this? Okay, veggie. I need to think of the strat where I just put both pots in at the same time. And I'll just revisit the other one on the way back. I think I'll have to start to be conscious of how to do that. Be fine for now. We're going to be able to escape this, but it's just going to be very tight. The main concern is because of the coffee tables. Okay, meat, vegetable. You want a meat? You want dessert, of course. Thank you for choosing a quick dessert. You want a dessert too? Fuck! Okay. Alright, apple pie's not bad. Not bad at all. We got some coming up. Okay, veggie. I have to be conscious of the way I take these orders as well. Make sure that they're taken in the most efficient path. Okay. Or saved. This is good. This is good. Okay, 2 pumpkins. That's fine. I'm not going to meet you in the alleyway behind the store after hours. Don't you worry. Don't you worry, customers. That's a host stand. Fuck, I don't want a host stand. It'd be nice to have a host stand in certain scenarios, so that way people aren't standing outside, but I don't want that. Not with this setup. I need the tables. I need the coffee tables. Okay, meat mushroom. Shroom. Right as I make it, I run away from it. I should just start carrying it on the way back because I don't have to place anything else down, so no loss in doing so. I didn't fill the sink! We're good on time. We're fine. We're fine. Meats. The fact that I'm allowed to make mistakes is a very good sign, because that means that we have a lot of room to work with before things get even more hectic. If I'm lucky enough, I'll be getting a lot more sides to reduce the number of customers, because I can skip sides. Okay, mushroom, veggie meats. We're gonna purposely leave the last table alone, and they both want dessert. That's fine. Okay, we'll come back to you later. So now we're gonna copy everything, and then we will complete their order. I'm also going to apply discounts, but oh, I forgot to. Okay, the way that the things are set up, the research stations, I'm not able to copy everything. I have to leave some behind. That way, this one I have to go through diagonally. I just felt something. Alright, there we go. Boom. Meat. Put this here. I have free tables now, so I can actually prepare those in advance. I might start doing that, actually. There's the stats. 749 coins. That was a lot of work. Summarize. In total span of 2 hours and 16 minutes. Give and take some change. We completed 1 level. We completed 1 level. So with that said, we're only playing 1 level today. Move some stuff around real quick. We don't even need those potatoes, but we have to have them in the level. They have to count as being spawned. Okay, we did it. Thank you guys very much for swinging on by. This is a stream, and I'll see you on the next one. Bye-bye.